It was to whom or to what do you attribute your success? Many people attribute their present status to a variety of influences that include both major and minor influences. Many say their ability to write is because wonderful teachers took their hands in their hands. There are many musicians who look back on a tough music teacher who insisted on rigorous discipline as the source of their musical talents. Still others accredit a tough coach for athletic skills and abilities, or some other challenging persons who develop their abilities. Everyone attributes their success to one influence or another. Somebody say one influence or another. There are many who say that the reason for their professional successes is their education from fine institutions such as Southern University or Grambling. Yet education alone does not guarantee success. There are many people who have superior education who are incarcerated. There are others who have exquisite educational backgrounds but are unemployed. Obviously, there is a reason beyond the success, a secret that is unrevealed to the general public that accounts for whatever we have accomplished. There are some who credit their business success to their networking management skills. They conduct workshops and clinics to show others how they did it. Business knowledge, management skills, and experience play a major part in our business success. But there are millions of people with the same skill and ability who did not succeed. There has to be a component that makes your situation different from the others. Obviously, just your knowledge and skill alone did not make this happen. In this sense, there are many who attribute their salvation to the type of church to which they belong. Is it being a Methodist, Catholic, or Baptist that saved us from ourselves? Is it holding membership to a church with a high ceiling, large steeple, comfortable seats that saves us? Does church membership itself impact our salvation at all? There are millions of church members who fill our pews on Sunday but are not saved. Many of these may preach, teach Sunday school, or work in church ministries and still not be saved. If church membership alone could do the trick, then all of us could boast on salvation because we belong. The source of our success and our salvation is the same. Nothing but the grace of God can account for our ability to overcome the many obstacles that we may have faced. Nothing but the grace of God can account for our survival in these perilous times. When it comes to our salvation, we know that it isn't our church, denomination, or service that saves us, because that's something that can only be done through the blood of Christ. As Christians, we are sure that our salvation is from one source. We don't think or guess about it. We agree with the words of the songwriter who said, I know it was the blood that saved me. I'm trying to preach today from the subject, I know it was the blood. Somebody say, I know it was the blood. Well, this text focuses upon the children of Israel as they received instruction upon leaving the land of Egypt en route to the promised land. The people suffered considerable hardship while in slavery. They were threatened as second-class human beings. They endured much and suffered long, yet deliverance was upon them. God himself stood ready to answer their prayers for deliverance. Moses commanded each family to kill a lamb and to paint their doorposts of their homes with its blood. It was promised that prior to the deliverance, they were to eat a sacrificial lamb, then wait for God's death angel to pass by. Those who were securely behind a doorpost with blood on all three sides would be saved from the coming death. However, those outside of this protection would experience the death of their firstborn sons. As the death angel passed, and the firstborn of the Egypt and Goshen died unless the blood was stained upon their doors. Those inside were saved. Thereafter, that night was celebrated as the Passover, so that all could remember how God's death angel passed over them and had mercy. The first point I want to lift up today, and I want you to repeat it after me, say the blood represents God's protection. For Israel, the blood over the doorpost was more than simple lamb's blood. The blood meant when trouble came, they would be under the protection of God himself. The Egyptians were not sure about the threat Moses gave to Pharaoh, but there were many of them who did take his word to heart, because they had witnessed other acts of God which demonstrated that his people were indeed protected. Today, people of God, protected by God as well. We are not protected from evil in the sense that no evil can befall us. We